Hello dears, and welcome back to the channel Benidorm by Ana. And as every Monday and Friday, it's time for the latest news update. And today we have a lot of news to talk about. First of all, we're gonna be finally checking on what has happened with the Ryanair strike. And is it finally over or still not? What's happening with flight prices, with car rentals, and what in general the situation is right now here in Spain. Then about the change that will probably make a huge difference in terms of what touristic season is considered to be in our area of Costa Blanca. And the last news about the post-pandemic tourism that totally saturates Balearic Islands, and not only Balearic Islands. And of course, we'll top up with the weather forecast for the next upcoming days. First of all, let's talk about the situation. Today, a lot of people were asking me what is happening with the flight prices. You know already that they are still increasing, and you can still, however, find some cheaper tickets, airplane tickets on Ryanair website. However, with all the rest of the companies, the flights are just crazy priced, and I suppose it's because when we've talked about the end of restrictions, companies knew there's going to be a lot of people interested, which is why they've hired up the prices. Also because of the increasing prices of fuel, we are not surprised at all that this is happening. However, Ryanair still has some nice costs, but you need to be careful with the luggage because they only allow like small bag with you, like small sports bag that can be below your seat, and you cannot bring any kind of luggage unless you pay like extra amount of money. Car rental companies, on the other hand, has started to drop prices right now. For example, Centauro car rental, they have a very nice offer of up to 30% discount on a car. We've booked one for ourselves for when we will travel to North Spain just a few days before Christmas to celebrate my hubby's birthday and to see the most beautiful Christmas lights from the whole Spain, which is in Vigo. And we've booked a car for 4 days and it costs just 100 euros with premium insurance, so no deposit, nothing extra, just 100 euros. And it's for 4 days, which is an amazing price for a car during these days. And here in Benidorm and Alicante Airport, they have even bigger discounts. Ryanair company finally cancels the strike. Ryanair's been one of the companies that had the strike for the longest period of time during this year. They've even wanted to put it up until 8th of January, more or less, from every Monday till Thursday. These 4 days of a week, they wanted to go on strike just to show that they're not going to be stopped unless the company will hear them out and make some major changes that they are requesting. What has happened? This has been like a last-minute news. The company has reunited themselves with the syndicate that basically helps the workers, which is called Comisiones Obreras here in Spain. And at 10 p.m. yesterday's evening, they finally decided to stop the strike, not because they've reached their goals, however, because the company has promised to start the negotiation, which is officially stated in the document that they've signed from both sides. They will stop strike and the negotiations to make the working conditions slightly better and increase the salaries will start. So this is a good sign already. This was the last company on strike this year, and hopefully it's going to stay this way. Hopefully Ryanair will not get on strike any longer because it's been quite a rough summer and autumn season for a lot of you that had at least their flights delayed, and a lot of them were cancelled as well. So it's great news that Ryanair is back on track once again. The second news that I wanted to share with you all is the drastic climatic change here in our region. It's not because, this news is not because of a climate change, it's not about this. And it's because the climatic change here in Costa Blanca and in Spain in general is giving us the possibility to have a summer of 5 months, which basically are the months of summer, which is June, July, and August, as well as 1 month of spring and 1 month of autumn. However, to be honest with you, I think it's way more than 5. It should be around 7 months of really nice weather and warm and even hot weather here in Spain. The touristic season becomes longer each and every single year, which is why obviously a lot more tourists are attracted to this zone. People start to avoid peak summer weeks, which is when we have heat waves here, and we can reach 45 degrees in our area, which is quite hot, and this year was the case. And they start spreading like throughout spring, summer, or towards summer, end of summer, and beginning of autumn. Right now we are almost, with just a couple of days are left until 1st of November, and we are still walking with t-shirts, and it's around 27 degrees on the outside, so it's just great. And the sea temperature also is a huge decision point in here, because it's 3 Celsius, 3 grades, basically 3 points higher than a normal sea temperature should be for the time of a year that we are in now. And it kind of seems that tourism will not stop even for Halloween fiestas. This weekend on Tuesday, 1st of November, we have a bank holiday. It's basically like a country holiday where no banks, no pharmacies, no like supermarkets are usually open, unless it's like Lidl supermarket, which is when they have like their specific days that they do work on at least half of the day. But all the rest of places will be shut down except for hosteleria and touristic places, obviously. And a lot of people are having 4 days off, which is Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and they go back to their usual routine on Wednesday morning, which is why a lot of the hotels are really busy. Some people did like escape holidays, you know, just for a couple of days and for the weekend with their children. And hotels in Benidorm are having around 80% of occupancy at this very moment, and the average, and a lot of them have put the sign of full already. I've tried to check a lot of the hotels for you guys, and the most economic ones, those are the ones who are filled in the most with tourists. There are barely like 1 room left, 3 rooms left, you know, like last rooms available, especially if you check on booking.com and on their official websites. Tend to be almost full, which is crazy, but it's obviously it's very good for our season. Let us know if the weather will be changing like this, if the summer weather will accompany us throughout more months in a year, and it's not going to be just 3 months only. Would you consider changing your traveling habits to come earlier in the year towards spring, summer, or at the end of peak season, like summer, beginning of autumn? Especially knowing that July and August are the hardest months right now, and every single year probably it's going to become worse and worse, with highest temperatures of around 46, 47 degrees, peak temperature on midday. And the last news that I wanted to share with you all obviously has something more to do with tourism, and it's because post-pandemic tourism has changed the habits of a lot of people, has changed the way they were used to travel, has changed the preferences of them as well, leading towards the quality tourism and more towards the nature and open air type of escape holidays. And this is the issue that's been happening on the islands, especially on Balearic Islands, but Canarian Islands as well, in slightly less of a way. And a lot of people that are living in Balearic Islands or Canarian Islands, since it's an island, it's not really like huge place. People that are living there regularly started to say that they feel kind of enclosed in one single like small space, that they don't have free space to breathe. Everywhere they go, they see tourists that are invading their personal space, and sometimes even, you know, these Pinterest small streets with old typical traditional houses that sometimes they have even open doors. A lot of tourists don't get that. It's a habit of people that live there, and it does not mean that you can like literally pass inside the house and just check what is inside of there, even if the door is open, you know, unless it's like any kind of museum. So a lot of people don't get it, and they even go inside of their private homes, like directly from the street, and then obviously they're shocked and they need to go out and say sorry, but it's just not a pleasant situation for a lot of people that are living there. The issue is that Balearic Islands, Canarian Islands, and a lot of the areas in Spain, they depend a lot on tourism. Basically, around more than a half of people that live on islands, they depend on any kind of business related somehow with tourists. Either it's going to be hotels, hosteleria, bars, restaurants, cafeterias, shops, any kind of rental businesses, excursions, or simply the companies that provide drinks and beverages to hotels and hosteleria. So what they are saying is that they want to preserve the quality, they want to preserve the quality of the beaches as well, clean streets. They want to have it as an escape tourism, like a breath of fresh air. However, right now in November, I did find a picture that was done just a day or two ago, which is this one right here on the screen, and it shows how the streets of Palma de Mallorca are full on these days, and it kind of definitely feels like summer. The maxification of the tourism here is they see it as an invasion, you know, of their private areas, where usually in winter they were able to breathe and relax, you know, that they have their villages, their towns for themselves. But right now it's not the case any longer. And the amount of touristic apartments in Balearic Islands, for example, went from 20,000 to 100,000 units in just under 10 years. And a lot of these apartments, they are illegal, which means that they don't have any kind of tourist license to operate. They just seen it as a great option for tourism, great option to make some extra money. Obviously, it's not declared anywhere, you know, they don't pay any taxes for it, so which is why they're doing it like illegally. And it's just thriving. Tourism is just thriving in these areas, and sometimes it's just too much, which is why a lot of people already are searching for other alternatives. Like, for example, Menorca. Menorca this year has been extremely popular and a destination that has a lot of attention online, a lot of attention in travel agencies, and a lot of people went to Menorca this year instead, which is like a tiny paradise, you know. So let's hope that the same thing won't happen with Menorca. Obviously, prices there are slightly higher, so I don't think it's going to be the case, but who knows? At least the islands are already dealing with a huge increase of tourism. They need tourism to exist, to get their economy going. However, they cannot take the huge amount of tourism that they were having this year after pandemic has ended, basically. And all these people who have not been able to travel for a couple of years flooded to the islands back again. So we'll see what will be happening starting from now on. It will be logical to assume that once a lot of people will know that pandemics is finally over, there's not going to be any other issues this winter, they will relax once they've traveled already, and all the situation will get into normal, and tourists will start going slowly but surely back again, and there's not going to be any kind of collapse, you know, like full streets of tourists in these areas, and locals will be able to get some breath of fresh air. And now let's talk about the weather. What is waiting for all those of you who will be coming shortly to Spain or Costa Blanca for your holidays in here? By the way, today we are in Eucalyptus Park here in Algier, little village just a couple of minutes from Benidorm. And as you can see right there in front, there are a lot of people, especially Norwegians, people from Netherlands, from Belgium, and from a lot of other countries, including British as well, that are playing their traditional Spanish petanca game, which is kind of similar to bowling, and you just have a central bowl and you throw the other balls to it, and which one comes closer is basically the winner. So this is what they are doing right now here in the park. These are entire groups that gather here together. They have a specific timetable when they are allowed to fill in these tiny squares to play their favorite game. But let's go back towards the weather. This is probably not the last week of heat here in Benidorm area. It's quite probable that we will still continue up until mid-November to have these nice and cozy temperatures around 25-26 degrees, which is today. And by the end of these 2 upcoming weeks, we'll have probably around 21, 22 degrees still, which is just great. Today is very sunny, nice and warm here in the zone. And it kind of doesn't seem that there's going to be any kind of rain or any kind of clouds at all. As you can see right here in the sky, below these lovely and giant eucalyptus trees. By the way, these ones are authentic eucalyptus trees. As for the temperatures, up until Thursday, Friday, we're gonna have really warm weather, and starting from then it's gonna drop just a couple of degrees, which is still nothing bad. Today is around 27 on the sunshine, Alicante around 27, Barcelona 23, Granada 33, Malaga 25, Sevilla 31, Madrid 24, Murcia 28, Balearic Islands 28 as well. Canarian 26 to 29, and Valencia will have around 24 degrees today. And the water temperature is still amazing, 23.7 degrees, which is why a lot of people are still swimming in the sea. This was the latest news update from Spain and Benidorm Town. I hope you enjoyed watching today's informative video, and I'll see you tomorrow with a new video here on the channel. Tomorrow we have a really special video prepared for you guys. We went to Alicante to show you what else can you discover during your stay here on holidays, and which area of Alicante you just cannot miss when you visit Costa Blanca for the next time. And on Sunday we have another extra special video for you guys that we've been willing to do for such a long time. We will be discovering the so famous Mexican restaurant La Juana in Benidorm. It's supposed to be the most amazing and spectacular Mexican food here in Benidorm Town, situated on Girona Street. So we'll go there and find out if it's actually true or not. So stay tuned here on the channel and make sure you subscribe so that YouTube will let you know when these new videos will come out. Bye!